Washington Grown is brought to you by the Potato Farmers of Washington. Learn why Washington is home to the world's most productive potato fields and farmers by visiting potatoes.com. Also brought to you by Treetop and the Washington Hospitality Association.
Hi everyone, I'm Christy Goranson and welcome to Washington Grown. Washington is known as the apple state, but we're also the #1 producer of a lot of other fruits too, like blueberries, pears, and raspberries. So in this episode, we're talking all about the top fruit crops. We'll head down to the Tri-Cities to Ethos Trattoria and make a delicious blueberry lavender polenta cake.
I love the texture of the polenta.
Then we're heading up to northwestern Washington to take a look at how those blueberries are grown and see what goes on at the farm when Mother Nature puts a halt to harvest. And we'll head to central Washington where we'll pick some apples. That was the wrong way. And see how they're cleaned up and shipped to stores around the world. All this today on Washington Grown.
It really is a family affair.
Cheers. Cheers.
Oh my
look at
gosh.
that. Yeah.
First, we're checking out Ethos Trattoria in Richland. The focus here is on working with local farms to craft fresh and seasonal creations for the community.
Everything is fresh. Everything is as fresh as it can be. The whole culture is trying to elevate foods that are grown in our area.
I'm a vegetarian, so they have a lot of local produce vegetables. So that is just really good. I come for pizza with my friends. Desserts here are really awesome.
Owner and head baker Angela Cora didn't go a traditional route when it came to opening the restaurant.
Give me your background, it's really interesting.
Yeah, so I'm actually an engineer by training. Moved out here to work at the National Lab that's just down the road, and just kind of fell into this. Food is always something that I've loved to do, especially to cook for friends. And then I met my significant other and we just started a conversation of, well, what if this was actually something that we could do? And it's just been off to the races ever since.
What will people find when they come here?
Sure. We bring in all our freshly baked pastries from the bakery location, which is just about 5 minutes away. And we do handmade croissants, scones, muffins, all that sort of thing. Then as we move into lunch and dinner time, it's an Italian-inspired menu. So we do handmade pastas, everything as we can from scratch. We have a wood-fired oven, so we do wood-fired pizzas, sandwiches, salads.
And you're kind of lucky too because you have all the farms around here that you can use.
We're just thrilled to get to work with all the farms. And that's one of the best parts, to get to meet all of the different providers and get to hear their story and really share their product with the customers.
Later in the show, we're going in the bakery with Angela to make a blueberry lavender polenta cake.
I love the texture of the polenta, and those blueberries are amazing.
Val is in northwestern Washington in Whatcom County, where blueberry farmer Paul Sanga should be in full swing with harvest. But Mother Nature had a different plan for the day.
Tell me a little bit about your operation and what we're seeing here.
Well, this is our 50-acre blueberry field, and we just started harvesting yesterday. It's go time because it's blueberry season's here.
These blueberries are just gorgeous. They're like screaming out to me. Can I taste them?
Absolutely.
Oh, these are great. Today we were going to go picking with you all, but we couldn't do that because of the weather. So how do you adapt day to day?
We picked yesterday all the way up into midnight, 1 o'clock, because it's important to stay ahead of rain.
So how is technology used in saving water?
We conserve a lot of water by using drip irrigation. It's usually on a time switch. These are the drip irrigation lines right here. And you can see that your water is going to be falling to where the roots are really going to absorb a lot of the water, and you're not wasting any going onto the outsides. That way you're able to run less water and be more efficient with it. Water is a big issue, and conserving water and using it the right way is important, and I think the farming community plays a big role in helping do that.
Talk to me more about conventional farming. Why should people trust this product?
Each pallet that we've picked is tagged. Even today now it's barcode tagged, so when you're receiving anything you can really read into exactly what was there and what time it was picked. We all know blueberries are good for you, but we go an extra step to make sure that everything we do for them is something that you'd be happy to be eating, and we just want people to keep enjoying them.
Although harvest isn't up and running today, Paul took me to the harvester to show me how the berries are picked.
It drives over top of the row would be going down the center here, and once they get to the beater rods or the shakers there, they shake the fruit off, which rolls off to the side onto these belts, and these belts then carry it through a series to the top.
Can we go up top and you can show me how things work up there?
Sure. The fruit travels down this way, and then your sorter is going to be sitting right here. He's going to be sorting out green fruit or stems and different things that's not a blueberry.
The care and desire for good, high-quality berries doesn't end once the berries are picked. They are harvested at the peak of freshness and taken to a local packing plant. During this process, the berries are constantly being checked on and cared for. The damaged and smashed berries are removed, followed by the stems, sticks, and other debris. Then they are inspected by graders to make sure damaged and discolored berries are removed, packed up, and inspected one last time before being shipped to consumers around the world.
We've got such a great area, great source of quality blueberries here that everybody in the world should be enjoying these. And every day we're working towards trying to push our fruit out into the world and make sure that we can compete on a global level and make sure people know the quality that we have here and how much work we put into it.
Whole fresh fruits like apples, pears, blueberries, and raspberries are not required to wear ingredient or nutrition facts labels, which are kind of like identification shirts for food. However, if fresh fruits were to wear an ingredient label, what would that first ingredient be? One hint is that the first ingredient is always the highest by weight. Another hint may be the juice dribbling down your chin as you enjoy biting into a pear or apple, which is why you've probably guessed that the vast majority of fruit's primary ingredient weight is water. The abundance of water contained in fresh, frozen, and canned fruits helps you stay hydrated. If colorful fruits like raspberries and blueberries were required to wear a nutrition facts label, it would inform you about fiber, vitamin C, minerals, and natural sugar levels. Fruit's natural sugars are accompanied by a variety of vitamins and minerals that your body uses to transform natural sugars into usable energy. The variety of soluble and insoluble fibers contained in fruits helps slow the release of natural sugars into energy, which is helpful for maintaining steady blood sugar levels. So far, the FDA has voluntary nutrition labeling for fresh fruits, but there may come a time when Washington-grown fruits are required to wear the shirt of nutrition labeling. But for now, we can enjoy them wearing only their skins.
Coming up, we're back at the popular Richland restaurant Ethos Trattoria to make a blueberry lavender polenta cake. Pests are a part of farming, but they don't have to devastate farms like they used to thanks to research. I met up with Mike Willett of the Washington Tree Fruit Research Commission to talk about new ways tree fruit farmers are fighting pests.
Apples like this, so they look wonderful and look perfectly adapted to this climate, they didn't come from here. Unfortunately, when people brought apples, they brought their pests, but they didn't bring the good guys that feed on the pests.
So what's one of the main pests that
Well, one
you
of
have to
the
deal
main
with?
pests in apple orchards is codling moth. It was introduced from Central Asia without any of its natural enemies.
Yeah.
And codling moth in this part of the world, without control, will infest 100% of the fruit, causing great damage. There's been no management of codling moth in this orchard here, at least in this part of the orchard. And you can see the spotting on the apple. And if we cut it, you can normally find larvae inside the fruit.
I just got the shivers.
Washington apple farmers can monitor the presence of codling moth by using traps that emit a female pheromone attracting the males. Once the threat is detected, rather than spraying their orchards, farmers use an interesting device to deter the codling moth.
This plastic something or other contains that same pheromone that was inside that little capsule in the trap.
Wow.
And what scientists realized, if they put a large enough dose that lasted the entire season
Of the pheromone.
of the pheromone inside the tubes of this plastic, that the male moths would get confused by following these point sources and not be able to find the females that were also emitting the same pheromone. They essentially become confused into inaction. And that results in no damage.
There we go. Wow. What are some of the benefits of using integrated pest management compared to other options?
Well, obviously one of the distinct advantages is that you don't end up in a cycle of resistance. A lot of the research that's being done here at Washington State University is focused on trying to understand more about the biology of the natural enemies that do exist. To incorporate those kinds of generalist predators into a program means that it's essentially a cost-free approach to pest management. And we're seeing more and more of that being done in orchards here in Central Washington.
Important, yeah.
To learn more about some of the integrated pest management systems farmers are using in Washington, head to wagrown.com. We're back in Richland at Ethos Trattoria. It's a modern but cozy restaurant serving up fresh baked goods in the morning and Italian-inspired dishes by night.
Great food, service is fabulous. Place to go where people know your name.
It's one of the better culinary experiences in the Tri-Cities. I probably eat the pizza more than I should, but they have so many different seasonal dishes. That's the best part about coming here is you can get something new almost every time you come in.
Owner and head baker Angela Cora says Washington-grown ingredients drive Ethos menu.
Especially this time of year, there's a lot of fresh berries, and peaches just came onto the market. We just did plums. Those go into, we do fruit galettes, so they're kind of like a rustic fruit pie. Those are very popular. We even use fruit on a lot of our sandwiches and other dishes. We have like tart cherries in one of our vegetarian sandwiches right now.
Now we're heading into the kitchen with Angela to make one of their tasty desserts.
We are making something with blueberries and some lavender.
Yes. So we're doing a lavender olive oil polenta cake with blueberries. It's actually a really versatile recipe. You can use it with blueberries, you can do it plain. So it's really flexible, but it has a lot of flavor and things like that. So it's great.
Okay, so where do we
let's get started.
Our first step is to sift the dry ingredients: baking powder, flour, salt, and toasted polenta.
To toast it, it's really easy. You just put it in a skillet, put it over like a medium-high heat, and then you just kind of, almost like popcorn, kind of shake it a little bit. It'll get golden, it'll start to bring off a little steam.
After sifting the ingredients, we combine some olive oil and eggs in a different bowl. In a third bowl, we combine butter and sugar and then cream them.
All right, so we got some lavender here. These are just dried lavender. And lavender you gotta be careful with. You don't wanna use too much because it makes it taste like perfume.
Then you're
you know what I mean?
cake instead of,
You don't want really big pieces in there. Kind of crush it up.
And how much is this?
That's just 1 tablespoon.
Wow.
Then we add the lavender to our dry ingredients and move on to our vanilla bean.
Just split it in half, and then you just kind of open it up. And then you see all those fresh beans in there. Well, unfortunately, we don't get vanilla locally.
Right.
This is Madagascar.
Someplace far away.
I know. But it's so delicious. This is just going to go in with the egg and the olive oil mix. You can use vanilla extract as well.
We dump our wet ingredients into the mixer, and once they're combined, we add in our dry ingredients and fold them all together. While I keep stirring, Angela mixes frozen blueberries with flour.
The flour helps kind of separate them a little bit?
Yeah, especially for muffins, it helps stick so that they don't sink to the bottom. This particular recipe, they kind of end up sinking anyway, but it does help a little bit. Another one little thing we do to add a little extra crunch and texture is we actually use lavender sugar. So this is just lavender with sugar that's been blended up in a food processor.
Okay.
And you just kind of shake this around.
So lavender and blueberries, they go pretty well together?
They do, yeah. And the other thing that goes really well, and it's great being in wine country, but red wine. That's actually one of the first places we got the idea to use lavender with blueberries was one of the wineries said, oh, well, anything lavender goes really well with our wines. And so that's when we started incorporating it together.
We pour our blueberries into the mixture, then we pour our mixture into a couple of cake pans and pop them in the oven.
Yep, perfect.
Our cake is done.
Yes.
And it looks beautiful.
Yes.
It's all golden.
Right. Yep, golden brown. So we're just gonna invert this guy. Okay. So the plate goes on top.
Abracadabra.
I know, right?
Ah,
there you go.
Oh my gosh,
So
look
so we'll slice a little slice here. And you can do a little powdered sugar on top if you want.
We top our cake with a blueberry compote and some whipped cream.
And then we just have a little fresh lavender here.
Just for something special.
Just for some color.
That's so
There
pretty.
you go.
What a way to like wow your friends.
Yeah.
We get to
Please,
know.
go ahead.
All right. I love the texture of the polenta. And those blueberries are amazing.
And it's just a little extra sweetness, a little pop, but like the blueberry and the lavender.
It's just like this little
It's an afterthought.
It is. It's not like I'm eating like a
soap.
Real pungent plant.
Right, exactly.
I love it. That is so good.
To get the recipe for Ethos Blueberry Lavender Polenta Cake, head over to wagrown.com. Coming up, we're heading to Central Washington to see how Washington's most popular fruit makes its way to stores all around the globe.
You know, the incredible thing about blueberries is they can be served in a variety of sweet or savory dishes. Well, one of my favorite sweeties is from our friends right here at the Old European in Spokane, where they make their famous Dutch blueberry abelskievers. It's almost like a pancake in a ball. Well, let's take these guys downtown and see what the people of Spokane think of them, as long as I don't eat them all first. Do you like fruits?
I do indeed.
Tell me some of your favorite fruits.
Apples are great.
Watermelon, apple.
Blueberries and raspberries. I like kind of all of them.
What are some ways that you like to eat blueberries?
Smoothies, pancakes, obviously, waffles.
I eat them fresh with walnuts in my oatmeal.
Blueberry pie, and I just kind of like them normal as well.
Even by themselves, you know?
You can't go wrong with a handful of blueberries. This is a blueberry abelskiever from Old European. I want you to give that a try and tell me what you think. It's kind of messy, but man, I'll tell you, it's worth it. Oh man, you're not even messing around. The mess says it all. Look at that.
That's good.
Describe that to me.
Oh man, it's like a pancake, blueberry pancake.
It's breakfast in a bite.
Just juicy and light.
The softness and gooiness of French toast.
It's so good.
Would you have those again?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah, every morning.
Well, thank you so much, Lily. Did you enjoy that?
I'm taking the rest of this.
Yes, you are.
You can't talk about Washington fruit without talking about apples. Washington is the state for apples. No other state comes close to our quality or production. I'm off to Quincy to see what makes our apples the best in the world. First, I met up with Scott Driscoll, a regional manager for Stimilt growers.
These ones here are the Honeycrisp apples.
Nice.
These are on a third, this is a third leaf, so 3-year-old trees.
And Honeycrisps are one of America's favorites.
Show me like what a really good-looking Honeycrisp apple looks like.
Well, we'll pick this one. All we can see is the outside here, but we can see right away that it's really nice red color. This is a nice size apple. This is probably a size 80. Maybe by the time we pick it, it's a little bit larger than that.
Size, color, and taste are what make up a perfect apple, and high standards are what make Washington apples so great. With its nutrient-rich soil, arid climate, plentiful water, and advanced growing practices, Washington's lush apple orchards have been a part of Washington's history since the 1800s. With every generation, apple farmers have become better at everything, taking care of their lands, their crews, and their trees.
You want to pick that one, and then I'll just go ahead and take this one here.
Whoops.
Oh yeah, we should have went through the how to pick them, right?
That was the wrong way.
So we do. Basically, when you're picking it, you need to lift up, and it breaks off of the spur. Instead of if you pull it, it takes the spur with it like that. And if you take the spur now, there's no fruit there next year.
What?
Yeah, there won't be an apple there next year.
I ruined the tree.
Before before I could strip the rest of the orchard, we went down the road to visit Frank Gonzalez at Double Diamond Fruit to see how our apples are processed and shipped to consumers around the world.
Well, Frank, tell me, this is kind of the beginning of the apples come in.
Yes.
And then they're in water. What does that mean?
Well, water is kind of like our industry standard to move apples out of the containers, out of the bins.
Apples will float in water, and once they're out of the bins, they go through an exhaustive cleaning process that has evolved over time.
A lot of this is like, you know, years of technology. Everything from the fruit getting introduced to the water to the sorting table to here. All of this a lot of it is been a practice for decades in the apple industry.
Wow.
Now we're looking into new technology, a new generation in packing apples in the fruit industry, to where you have a machine that is the capability to weigh, color, sort, defect sort, and do internal sorting all at one time.
That's
in
does
just
right here.
a glance of the fruit, it sends that fruit knowing of all of those parameters.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Once they're sorted, they get stickers that identify each type of apple for cashiers at your grocery store. Then they're boxed and shipped off.
These apples end up going...
We have export, international customers. We have domestic customers.
Got to share our apples with the world, right?
Yes, we do. We have enough of them, and we're getting more.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for giving me this tour. I've never been in an apple processing plant before, and this was fascinating.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
With the abundance of fruit, veggies, grains, and meat our state provides, fresh food will never go out of style. That's it for this episode of Washington Grown. Thanks for watching.